Hey y'all, welcome back to the Phoenix Babe YouTube channel. Currently I'm just like in a transition where as though I'm really literally just getting everything kind of like back in order for me. I ain't even gonna say back in order. I'm really just restarting everything, like literally rebranding everything. So I had took a year off from doing YouTube videos just because I knew I wasn't in the right space mentally to really be giving people like videos. Like, I really take this shit serious. I really love like helping people, and I just feel like to some extent you can't help others if you're not in the right space. So I didn't want to just drop anything and give y'all anything. Like, I really, like, even now, this was so unexpected, the fact that I'm even recording now. I'm only recording because I had a really intense and profound experience with my shadow. So basically what it's called is shadow work. And when you do shadow work, a lot of qualities about yourself that you just don't really pay attention to, you know, something that you might have blinders to, is more so just your dark personality traits. And everybody has a shadow side, so can't nobody say they don't. And if they don't, clearly you need to do some type of shadow work, because you ain't never been there yet. But for me, my experience was super intense just off the strength that right now we are transiting in the middle of the Scorpio full moon. So that was already like really, it magnified, like the energy from the Scorpio full moon magnified like the intensity of it, but also like the energy that was like cultivating for this full moon. I was so aligned with it. Like, it was so intense and it was so profound. Like, I can't lie to y'all. What really triggered everything was I was on a my healer. I'm learning Reiki right now, and my healer, she gave us Reiki work to basically help us with our heart chakras, and boy did that shit fuck me up. Okay, listen, I really like her work is phenomenal, but when I say that heart chakra, like, I was going through a lot. I don't know if anybody actually follows me on Instagram. I'm also a hairstylist, so you know, like, people could see I was going through something because I wasn't really working. I took like a whole week off just to get myself together mentally. But what really triggered it was the fact that it was the Reiki work, but it was also the fact that I was also processing the Reiki work. So when you're processing Reiki work, you just never know. Like, you just never know what could come up for you. And a lot of insecurities came up for me. And this is stuff that I need to heal. So with shadow work, what shadow work comes with acknowledging what you need to work on. Me, I know I am one of those types of people where I love peace. Like, I could be a messy person, but I really gravitate towards like peaceful people that aren't really like into all that type of drama, stuff like that. I know me myself, like, I am one of them types of people, if I'm in a situation and I have to feel angry about it, I just avoid it. Like, that's just me. I'm one of them types of people that I just don't like being angry. It's not a beautiful emotion. You know what I mean? Like, that's the point of shadow work. The way I'm explaining, I'm trying to be like real uncut and raw with y'all about the experience that I had, because that's the only way it'll get to whoever needs to hear this. But I'm one of those types of people that really enjoy just being on an even playing field emotionally. I don't really like, you know, I'm a deep person. I'm a Scorpio. I feel really deeply. So whether it's a happy, you know, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling, I feel it really deeply. So one of the emotions that I really just can't like face And I noticed that about myself. One of those emotions that I really just can't face, I'll repress it, is anger. And I'm not even sure where the anger came from, but I'm very sure it came from trauma for the most part. But I didn't know I was repressing that much anger for that long. Like, I really don't like being angry. And child, it shook me up. So what happened was I just was reflecting. You know, when you do shadow work, you are sitting down, you're trying to reflect. You're supposed to, like, that's just something you're supposed to do. Especially during this pandemic, anybody that's listening, if you are home 24/7 right now, I mean, besides going to work or whatever the case may be, you know, besides going outside, if you're one of those people that are not employed right now and you're just home every day, this is the perfect time to do your shadow work. And the reason I even say that is because I had enough time to really sit down and to reflect. And I had enough time to really, like, see myself for who I am. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're a shitty person. It just means you're a fucking person. So with that being said, don't be ashamed. You know, don't be ashamed to really, like, face yourself. Don't be ashamed to acknowledge the parts of yourself that you really just can't, you know what I mean, you just can't deal with. Like again, for me, anger. I just don't like it. Like, I don't like feeling angry. It's not a pleasant emotion. I just know how I am when I'm angry. I'm two totally different people. But it was something that I had to, like, literally process. So and also another thing that triggered it was the fact that with me being the type of person that doesn't really like to express anger, whatever the case may be, I'll gloss over a situation, or I'm one of those types of people that I'll push something to the side, like, even if it is something that it really means a lot to me, but for the sake of the fact that I don't really want to feel angry about it, like, I'll really push it off to the side and I'll really, like, keep it pushing. But the work that she gave me was so phenomenal. And she said something really specific to me because I was on her live and she was talking about Scorpios, but she was like, what did she say? Can't nobody understand you until you open up, or unless you open up. And that really hit me hard. Like, I don't know why it hit me so hard, but it hit me so hard. Like, I was so distraught about the fact that I didn't know who I hurt in the process of me not just opening up. I don't know what relationships I damaged. Like, that's where the shadow work came in. And I really went, like, because I'm such a deep person and I could feel things so deeply, it shook me up just off the strength that I didn't know who I hurt. Like, I don't know who I hurt by just being me, but you gotta understand that when you are doing shadow work, it is a part of you. It's something that you have to accept. So even if I did hurt people in the past, like, I really had to sit and reflect about it and really give myself compassion. And the reason I'm even explaining my story is because a lot of times with shadow work, you could feel so shameful about something from your past. You mess around and trick yourself out of doing the work. So that's the point of me even trying to make the video. Like, don't shy away from the ugly shit. Don't shy away from the ugly parts of yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And funny thing is, the experience for me was so profound that I was able to understand that anger is not a bad emotion, number one. Two, it's okay if I tell people what they did to me hurt me. It's okay for me to tell people what they're doing isn't according to my belief system and my values and stuff like that. It's okay to say that. Like, anger, like, I had to learn, like, anger is an emotion that you feel when people are overstepping your boundaries. So with that being said, for me, when I had to process that, all I knew I had to understand was that it's a regular emotion. I shouldn't feel bad for feeling it, and it's not something anybody should feel bad for feeling, because obviously it's an indication that somebody is overstepping your boundaries. Also, when you do your shadow work, I didn't do this. I didn't journal anything down, but I did kind of like, I was talking to my friends about it. I was texting and calling everybody and letting them know, like, you know, this is what I'm going through. You know, let your peoples know you going through something right now. You know, let people know ahead of time, or even during your shadow work. Just let them know, you know, what you're going through right now. They understand. Also, when you are doing shadow work, it's very imperative, in my opinion, that you write down what you're feeling. Document how you feel. Also, in when you are doing shadow work, a lot of stuff is going to trigger you. So when you're in that, when you're in that trance, when you're in that phase, or when you're at that point of your healing, try to figure out where the feeling is coming from. For me, I knew the anger when I was really just sitting here processing the anger and feeling it, and letting myself be engulfed in the feeling of just processing, you know, whatever shame, guilt, you know, whatever I was feeling from it. The way I felt like I could extend the compassion to myself was writing down, or basically just keeping note of everything. What else? And I went through every emotion. I feel like Nipsey said, I went through every emotion. I really feel like I went through every emotion. I didn't eat for 2 days. I didn't sleep for 3. No, I'm sorry. That's a lie. I didn't eat for 2 days. I didn't sleep. I mean, I didn't eat for 3 days. I didn't sleep for 2. I was still socializing. Like, I was still on Twitter. Like, I was just laughing about it. But whatever you need to do to feel more compassionate about yourself during this transition in your healing, do it. Because it comes with a lot. But I'm just being honest with y'all. Like, I'm being real raw and uncut about it. I really did. I ain't even gonna say I lost my mind, but when you really doing shadow work, I was in the deep recesses of my mind. I don't even know how far I went back as far as like what my actions, like how my behavior really could be affecting people. I had to really think about that. And it can, and the simple fact that when you are doing shadow work, you don't really necessarily know where it's coming from until you really sit down and think about it and really like get to the bottom of it. Cause that's the point of it. You're supposed to do that. That's how you evolve. Like that's literally how you grow from doing shadow work. The point of shadow work is not for you to feel shitty about yourself, to just go on and keep doing the same keep doing the same stuff. The point of shadow work is for you to really get in there and really be honest with yourself. Like, be honest about what you, like, how you behave. Like, you gotta really be honest about what actions you do that affect other people, what you say to other people, how that affects people. Like, you really gotta do, like, it's deep. But just off the strength that deep down, if you know you a good person and you know you mean well, and you know you real serious about your work, and now I'm about to cry, but if you real serious about it, extend some compassion to yourself. Also, another thing I realized while doing my shadow work, is just keeping track. You know, if you know a certain behavior or whatever the case may be, and you feel shameful about it, figure out what you can do to change it. If you know it's hurting people, figure out what you can do to change it. I mean, it was really literally nothing I could do to change the fact that I probably fucked up some relationships from not being open enough, or whatever the case may be. But the point of you extending compassion to yourself is to forgive yourself for that, and also for you to basically move forward with like a different, I ain't gonna say a different personality, but a more improved it gives you more clarification as far as like how you need to moving forward. If you know something, it could be something really stupid, like, I ain't gonna say stupid, it could be something really simple that you do that really hurts people. Like, I didn't know, I never thought about it like that till someone else brought it out to me. Like, you not being open can really damage relationships, and I never thought of it like that, like, until somebody else brought it up. But what the point I'm making with me making this video is, shadow work is definitely real. It's definitely beneficial, and I recommend anybody to do it, especially during these times right now. Especially during these times. And if you really are serious about doing the work, or you really serious about being a better person and being the best version of yourself, I would recommend anybody to do it. And that's that on that. Also, I want to let people know that just because you felt bad, or if you have went through shadow work and you can and this resonates with you, just because, or if you are going through shadow work at the moment and this resonates with you, whatever you're feeling right now, any bad emotions you're feeling, listen, you are not a bad person. You just a person. You're a human being. So don't beat yourself up over like what you unravel as far as what you're doing with the shadow work, because it's gonna definitely, like shadow work is really deep. It's very deep. And when I say it's very deep, I'm saying from my experience, I was really crippled by the fact that I really hurt people. Like, didn't even know I hurt people, but I was really crippled by the fact of it, just because I didn't know. Like, sometimes you're just not aware of how your actions really hurt, like affect people, like later down the line. Even just not even the people that you're directly like around, it could really just trickle down to anybody. So I just recommend shadow work for anybody that's really just trying to be a better them and wants to make the world a better place. I did a lot of meditating. I did a lot of crying. I did a lot, a lot of shitload of purging. I think I cried for like a good 5 days. Like, it was that intense for me. And I don't know who else had a shadow work experience where as though it was that intense like mine, but it's not no joke. And I really just wanted to highlight some of the things for people, just so they can understand, like, you're not alone, but also you also can get through it, and you could come out on the other side on some beautiful shit. And the reason I'm even saying that is because after the shadow work, like I feel like I'm still gradually like changing behaviors or whatever the case may be, or after you understand the dark parts of yourself, you can accept it, and then you could just figure out what you can do to change it or whatever the case may be. But with me, the result for me was I literally hit all my peoples up. I hit all my family and friends up, everybody. I even apologized to everybody. I mean, I didn't even really have to, but it's just me. And I just let everybody know, like, I really appreciate, I appreciate you for being here with me and really like sticking through it with me. Whatever I put you through, you know what I mean? Like, just off the strength that I was just on some, I don't know, redemption stuff. But the point still stands. Shadow work is no joke, and I absolutely think everybody should do it. I absolutely feel like it's great for anybody that really wants to gain more clarity about themselves, or anybody that just feels like they need some type of reset. Like, if you feel like you need to reset, you might have to dig within to do that, because that's the only way. Like, I'm telling you, I see things really differently now. Like, I love differently now. Like, it was only like 2 weeks ago, but I mean, it was only a week ago, not even more than like 2 weeks ago that all this happened. But I feel like renewed in a way. And so, with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys again.